Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I want to share with you how to make sentiment shadows with the Cricut design space. Now, sentiment shadows are becoming very popular with card making in general. A lot of companies have them with die sets, but today I want to show you how to make them with the Cricut design space. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and create a card-based size rectangle. All this does is it gives me a visual of how big I want my sentiment to be. It's just a little trick I like to use whenever I'm designing specifically in design space. It's a nice visual reference for me. So card-based sizes are completely preferential. I'm doing an A2 size card base. I will leave a video linked in the top right hand corner that will show you how to make your own card bases and explain the sizes to you. Now, once I have that card base down, I'm going to go ahead and type in the sentiment I want using that text box. The great thing about Design Space is you can use all of those free fonts that you can grab from the internet and download from the internet for free. When picking a font, some things to remember: the more thin it is, the harder it's going to be to glue down. Also, whenever you're starting this process, maybe look for a font that is completely connected. If the letters are unconnected, they will cut unconnected and you will have to glue each one down individually. It can be done, but it takes a little bit more time. Now, once we have our sentiment typed out and we have our font chosen, we're going to go up to the top section and we're going to click offset. You want to make sure you have that sentiment chosen and then click the offset button. Now, here you can play around with the distance that you offset. I like to go smaller. And you can also choose whether you want your angles to be more curved or straight. I like to go with the curved option, but straight would be fun on a certain type of card. And once you have that distance selected and how you want it, all you do is click apply. It's really that simple. And you can go and you can do this for whatever font, whatever sentiment you want. So here I have a hello font, and this one is all connected. That is a great option to go with, especially when just starting out. Now, once you have that selected and just like you want it, you're going to go click that offset button. And there's where you can play around with the distance. It's just a slide bar. You can also go to the top right hand corner and type in a number. The smaller it is, the less distance it's going to be from those letters. The bigger the number, the further out, the bigger the shadow is going to be. Now, once you have it exactly like you want it, you can play around as much as you want. All you want to do is click that apply button. It's really that simple. Then you have your sentiment. You also have your shadow. They're in two separate layers, and you can do this as many times as you want. So if you want 2 or 3 shadows, you can do that. This is a great way to make some masculine cards or sports cards, things like along that nature, even graduation cards. So here I went in with a number, 38. It is the age my husband will turn, and I am going to create some offsets of numbers. I'm going to create them in Kansas City Chiefs colors because that is his favorite football team. And then from there, I can just cut those out and create a really fun birthday card. Great way to create masculine cards, graduation cards. You can do the year they're graduating like this. Just a lot of fun to play around with. So again, I'm using that same process as before. I'm creating that A2 sized panel. That's going to give me a really nice visual of how big I want this 38 to be because I want it to fill up the entire card base. So I'm making it A2 sized, which is 4¼ by 5½. I know my screen is a little messy. This is just how I work. And then once I have that sized, I'm going to choose that 38 and blow it up to fit that entire card base size. Now, as I'm doing this, you will notice that all of my colors are staying pretty well the same. I've got some grays and some blacks. By all means, you can go in and change these colors too as you're working. that gives you a really nice visual of what your finished card or sentiment will look like. So I've got that 38. I have blown it up now to fit that card base as I want it to. I'm just moving around, playing with the positioning. Now again, like I said, we can change the colors, we can change the orientation, we can change pretty much anything we want at this point to really get a nice visual of how that's going to end up. But what I wanted to do was add one more color, so I'm going to choose the offset of the 38. Not the 38 number itself, but the offset. And I'm going to offset the offset. And this one I'll make a little bit smaller. You can barely see it because they all are the same colors, but I'll change those colors for you so you can see. But essentially, you can offset the offset as many times as you want to really create a nice rainbow of colors. So you could go Roy G. Biv across this, have fun with it, play with it. It really is a lot of fun. But here you can see I did that 38 in red, then I did a gold offset, and then behind the offset, I did a black offset. So there I've got all those colors ready to go, and then I can just cut them out. Now you can leave them as is and cut them out from all the different colors of cardstock. You can group ones together with certain colors that you want to cut from certain cardstocks. A lot of times I like to cut from just plain white cardstock, all of my different layers, and then I will simply color them with ink pads. That is an easier way to go about this. Or if you want to, you can reload your mats and go about coloring, not coloring and just using colored cardstock. Now, one thing that really helps with these shadow sentiments is those glue bottles that you just seen. These are needlepoint glue bottles. Some of these are very fine sentiments that I'm using, and this just adds the tiniest bit of glue so the least amount of possible pops out the sides. Here you can see that hello sentiment. It really turned out beautifully. And then I did this happy birthday sentiment. Now, again, the finer the sentiment, the more finicky it's going to be as you put down. And again, remember, have fun with this, play around with the color combinations, the shadows that you use, all of those different things, and have fun with it. I hope this video helped you in learning how to create some sentiment shadows for your handmade cards. That is going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and happy crafting.